So once I do select, QlikView will give me the option or list all the tables available in the database. So my database is AdventureWorks. Under owner, the schemas are there, like I showed you: human resources, person, production, purchasing, sales. I'll pick the owner as sales. What QlikView will do is will list out all the tables under sales. So this is the sales schema, currency rate, customer, all these are sales, sales order, header, everything is sales. You will be able to access tables, views, synonym, system tables, aliases. You will not be able to access any stored procedures in SQL Server. So that's a normal generic question. Will you be able to extract data from a stored procedure? No, you will not be able to actually. So you pick up sales order header. Okay, this is the list of tables. On the right hand side is the list of fields that you want that are there in a particular table. Suppose I want to select sales order header because I want a sales, right? Let me start with header and detail. So header is like, it will have the overall table, aggregation table, and the detail is it will have individual detail of every header record. For example, invoice can have 10 products, right? So header will generally have only the invoice ID and the total amount or just count of products. Sales order detail will have the list of 10 products in that particular invoice. So there will be 10 lines in the sales order detail, whereas 1 line in sales order header. So that's the header detail relationship, if you have not worked earlier on this. So you can pick a particular table. Once you pick it, on the right hand side you have something called a star, and then you have the rest of the tables, rest of the fields. Okay. When you select star, right, on the bottom you see the script tab. The script is being created automatically. So it's QlikView is doing SQL select star from AdventureWorks, all this connection. If you select a particular field, the script also changes accordingly, right? Star is nothing but selecting all the fields. If you click a particular field, it will select only that field. So you can use control and choose the fields that you want to pick, like this, right? Or you can just go ahead, say SQL select star, everything will come over. So our best, like always recommended, generally recommended is, when you want all the fields, right, go ahead and use star. If you think you want particular fields, always choose the number of fields that you want, so that don't bring all the fields. Okay. Or just say SQL star, you will get all the fields. This is the fastest query method in SQL. SQL select star generally is faster than any other transformation or big queries. So just use SQL select. What we'll do is we'll just say okay now. Now you see this, the script is created. It's only this. Now what I'll do is, within QlikView, I will name this table. So the naming, like syntax is, you just update the name and a colon, so that becomes the table name for this table. So if this table is extracted into QlikView, this name is applied. So we'll see how this works. I'll just save it and reload once. So this, my data is here. So if you observed it, sorry, I think I moved fast. So it connected to the database and extracted 31,465 lines from sales order header. Right. So that is what our file did. Like this, I can bring in multiple tables. So I'll do again select. One way is like continuously doing the select option. One way is directly just doing it once and selecting all the tables that are required. Suppose over here sales order detail is required, right? Or in the bottom I have this add button. I'll say add, the script gets added. I'll create salesperson, add, that also gets added. Then I can create customer, add, customer is added. Territory, add, that is also added. So technically all the scripts. Now like I've created the tables, I didn't want to do it one by one, so I've done it all together. So I can move these files into the exact places that I want to, right? I can just copy this script, put that into customer, copy this script, put that into territory. Now just like in SQL, you can comment out text. So if you use two forward slashes, right, the entire text will be commented. This is not any script. So if you want any commenting, suppose you want to comment this, just update two forward slashes across the script, it will get commented. So the green is nothing but commented statements. Reload, it connected, it brought out 31,000, it brought out 1,21,000, 17, 10, 19. Ignore the synthetic keys for now. We'll discuss that later. Technically, all the tables were extracted, the 5 tables that we mentioned, and these are the data that is extracted. Now that's the extraction process of QlikView. We'll understand the store process, so just in mind, but we'll just cover all the topics that are there in this extraction. Now if you see this, for this rest of the tables, I didn't give any name, right? Sales order detail, I didn't give any name. But in the backend, the name will be assigned based on the default. If I give a particular name, that particular name will be assigned. If I don't give a name, the name that is from the database, that will be assigned to the entire table. So that's how it works basically. Now this is sales order detail, this is salesperson.
So once you reload and refresh, every tab gets refreshed, is it?
Yeah, so this, all the tabs put together is one entire script. So it is not like one tab at a time. It's like, imagine the whole, all the script in this entire tab is in one page only. Only for the code management, it is split across sheets. So you can't execute only one tab or a specific tab at a time. So when you reload, right, it will start from the main tab, from the first statement, and it will execute till the last statement available in the application. So it will always be all the scripts across all the tabs. There is no option to specifically execute one tab script or a particular script. For that, only the option that is available is you'll have to create this as the first script and just load that as load only that script. Now you can rearrange these tabs. So like I created sales, product, territory, customer, right? Suppose you want to move the customer to the first, you have this promote and demote tab. So you move this tab to the starting or you move it to the end, so however you want. So that rearrangement of tabs can be done. That will just rearrange which script should be executed before the, like in order. So sales order header is first. If I put sales order detail on top, so sales order detail will be executed first, then the sales order header. So the sequence will be maintained, and it's like the same query, normal query type, where in the query also you maintain the sequence, right? So just like that. Now you have this sales order header, sales detail, and sales person. We'll redo the exercise. We'll just bring the sales order header and see a couple of other options over there. So I'll do select. Over here I'll pick up sales and then go to sales order header. Over here, like I showed, I demonstrated, you can pick up the number of fields that you want to, you can do it, or you can just leave select star. On the bottom you have script, which shows the script. Table will give you the option of like explaining what the table is all about, if there is any description. Columns will give you the details of the columns. It gives you the metadata, sales order header, SQL integer 4, int entity. In QlikView, there is no data types limitation. So there are only 3 kinds of data types if you have to be precise. One is numbers, text, and dates. Numbers is numeric, anything to do with numbers. Text is alphanumeric, alphabets, everything to do with alphabets. And date is anything and everything to do with dates. So only 3 data types. So this and all doesn't really matter to us. But when you're extracting from SQL Server, it might matter to you because the data type in SQL Server might be different. You might want to process something over there and then bring it in. So let's see this. Now you have preview, you have blobs. Preview gives you preview of the data in the file. When you go to the script, on right side you have column row structure. Now suppose I pick this fields, right? These are in a column method. So like if you look at it, it's like the field names are one below the other. That's what this column is all about. If you pick row, it will put all the script into one single row, straight row. If you put structure, it will clearly structure the script so that it is not horizontally long or vertically long. You can just put column. Now there is something called as preceding load. Okay. So this preceding load is nothing but it will create another statement in red and it will apply this. Let's see what this exactly is. If you look at it, it is a load statement. LOD, it's here. It ends over here. So if you see this semicolon, it exactly ends before the SQL. This load statement is a QlikView native load statement. What that means is, if you look at this SQL select, right, this is not a QlikView native statement. This SQL select star is a SQL statement. So what QlikView does is, when it is extracting a data from a database or a server, it will use the native expression or native query for that server, push this entire query on the server, extract the data. So what I mean is, QlikView will just take this SQL select star from AdventureWorks, take this statement, put that to the server, it will execute on the server and the resultant file will come to QlikView. So QlikView will use just the resultant table. QlikView won't process this SQL statement within QlikView. So it just takes this, pushes it over there. Now whatever this on top of this you are seeing, right, this is QlikView's native statement. Load is a QlikView native statement. Load star from, load field name from, everything. The moment I give semicolon without any from statement, it will read from the resultant of this SQL select star. So it's like a subquery where SQL select will run first, then our native QlikView load will query the resultant of this SQL select star. Now why would we want to do this is, like if you have used SQL earlier, any transformation, while you're doing any script, right, you write a query. In that query, you just put any transformation. Transformation can be anything, like sum of, or maybe you might check for any particular value. So if this value is null, then you want to apply some other value or do anything. That generally takes longer time, right? But when you do a SQL select star, it is faster than any other query in SQL. We try to use that method and try to optimize the reload times or extract times so that we don't load the server. We just use SQL select star. All the data will be extracted as a plain vanilla data. There is no formula, there is no transformation, nothing. Once this is into QlikView, we put a subquery on top of it and then do a transformation. This is only when it is required. Okay. So if it is required, I'll put this load statement, I'll do it. In this load statement, I can do a lot of transformation. Like suppose this online order flag, right, is like just a 0 and 1. So online order flag is 0 and 1. I want to transform this as wherever it is 0, I want to put that as store. Wherever it is 1, I want to put that as online. If I do that in a SQL query, right, it's going to take pretty long time to execute the entire query, depending on the data size. Now what I'll do is I'll just say SQL select star. I just brought the vanilla data here. I'll try to execute only this. So if I want to execute a particular tab, right, or till here, so I want to execute the script till here, I can use the exit script. So we'll come back to exit script more. For now, we'll just complete the predictive preceding load. So 31,000 records uploaded. So if you look at the data in the table, so online order flag 1 and 0 is there, right? 0 or it is somewhere 1. So now I want to transform this. What I can do is over here I can easily transform it without affecting the SQL server. So I can say if online order flag is equal to 1, then say online else store as online description. As is nothing but alias. Alias is like as good as naming a field. So you can rename any field. Suppose over here I have this revision number. I can alias this revision number as rev number. Right? If I want to alias any field, I'll use as. I just put if. Don't worry about the if condition. We'll do the function separately. I just did a transformation. Save it. Reload it. So the end result of the table, right, will have that field. So over here, let's see that again. So revision number is gone. It has become rev number and online description is come. So I'll add this. Let's see this. So rev number is there. Online order flag has a description. 0 as store and online. 1 as online. So that's the transformation that we can do it using this preceding load. The SQL select star, one is it will query fast, second is it will not load the database. Suppose I do any transformation while querying, right? There is a load on the database, source database. If it is your transactional database, then the load will increase because of the transactions also. To avoid that and make it optimized, we do this. We put a preceding load, we do this extraction. So in QlikView, once you get the data, if you want to see all the tables that have come, there's something called as table viewer. So from the script editor, you have only this option called table viewer on top. So when you click it, it will take you to the backend. So it will show you how all the tables are loaded, how they are linked to each other. So this is the place where you see the data model. We'll see this when we load a couple of tables more. Else if you want to go from the main tab, right? So you can go to file. There's something called as table viewer over here. So you can go to the table. There's a couple of methods to see the table viewer. Once you have this, do this. What I would suggest is go ahead and install the files. I mean, if you have already done, so try to connect to the data sources, databases, creating the data like DSM strings and everything, and then start extracting one table at a time. We'll follow through the rest of the training. So I think for today, I would suggest this would be good for you to practice. Is this good?
Yeah, I have a question. The data what you have, like you have written like in load, it will the select statement will load the data and it will keep in this load statements what you have, and the table name in QlikView will be the sales order header what you have specified above with the colon.
Right, right. So whatever is under this will be like the table name will be this.
Okay. So we can see this particular sales order header in QlikView as QlikView table somewhere else. Okay. That's
This is the place. That's what I was telling you. Right? In QlikView, if you want to see the tables, this is the table viewer. Click on it, you will see the tables that are there. If you have more tables, right, all the tables will be linked to each other. So you can see also how they are linked. So maybe tomorrow we'll see that.
okay.